Module 11, Slickline Operation Safety Barriers Summary. Objective: to provide rig crews, supervisors, and house professionals with a complete understanding of the barrier concept in slickline operations, showing how layers of protection work together to prevent incidents, control risks, and ensure well integrity. This module emphasizes that safety in slickline operations depends not on a single control but on multiple interacting barriers: physical, procedural, supervisory, and human. Introduction. Slickline operations involve mechanical movement, surface pressure control, lifting, and human interaction, all performed in a compact, high-risk environment. Each action, from rig up to rig down, has the potential for error or failure if barriers are weak. Therefore, it is critical to build multiple safety layers to catch and contain errors before they escalate. This approach is known as barrier-based safety, or defense in depth, where one barrier compensates if another is bypassed or fails. Physical barriers. Physical barriers are the hardware and equipment that prevent direct exposure to hazards. They are the most visible and immediate protections in the operation. Key physical barriers include pressure control equipment (PCE), such as stuffing box, lubricator, tool catcher, and check valves, which contain well pressure and prevent release of fluids or gas. Wellhead and isolation valves, mechanical isolation barriers that ensure the well is secured during tool operations. Sheave and wire protection, certified sheave blocks, wire guards, and anchor points that prevent the wire from snapping back or striking personnel. Red zone and barricades, painted markings and barriers defining exclusion zones around the wellhead, sheave, and winch areas. Emergency stop devices, e-stop buttons and hydraulic cut-off valves that stop equipment instantly in emergencies. These barriers must be tested, inspected, and verified before and during operations. Pressure control equipment is pressure tested before exposure to well pressure, and all lifting devices are inspected for integrity and certification validity. Procedural barriers. Procedural barriers are the documented steps, permits, and checklists that ensure every operation follows a controlled and verified process. They guide human action and prevent errors through structure and discipline. Key procedural barriers include permit to work (PTW), formal authorization to begin slickline activities, defining scope, hazards, and required controls. Job safety analysis (JSA), task-by-task hazard assessment identifying risks and mitigation for each phase: rig up, RIH, PU, rig down. Pre-job safety meetings, toolbox talks to align all crew members on procedures, hand signals, and emergency roles. Rig up and rig down checklists, systematic steps ensuring no component is missed or incorrectly assembled. Pressure testing procedures, mandatory before opening the well to confirm PCE integrity. Tool string verification, checking tool configuration, function, and documentation before running in whole. Post-job reporting, capturing lessons learned, anomalies, and inspection results to improve future operations. Procedural barriers rely on strict adherence. Every deviation, however small, must be reviewed by supervision before proceeding. Written procedures turn safety into predictable, repeatable behavior. Supervisory barriers. Supervisory barriers represent the leadership and control functions that ensure compliance, awareness, and accountability during the job. The supervisor's role is not only to observe but to intervene when deviations occur. Key supervisory barriers include active on-site supervision. Supervisors must be physically present and fully engaged during all critical stages such as pressure testing, running, or pulling out of hole. Stop work authority enforcement. Supervisors ensure every worker understands they can halt the job immediately if unsafe conditions arise. Barrier verification. The supervisor must confirm all required physical and procedural barriers are in place before each operation begins. Real-time decision-making. When unexpected conditions appear, the supervisor must make prompt, safe, and documented decisions. Incident and near-miss reporting. Supervisors lead initial investigations and ensure that root causes are shared across the team. Cross-team communication. Supervisors maintain coordination with rig management, well owner representatives, and the slickline crew for every operational step. Supervisory barriers are effective only when supervisors remain visible, attentive, and empowered to act immediately on unsafe behaviors or changes in job conditions.
Human barriers. Human barriers are the most dynamic layer. They depend on competence, awareness, and individual responsibility. Even with strong equipment and procedures, operations fail when human performance declines. Key human barriers include training and competence. Every operator and crew member must be qualified in slickline procedures, red zone awareness, and emergency response. Attention and focus. The winch operator and crew must monitor depth, tension, and wire movement continuously, especially near surface. Effective communication. Clear and concise radio or hand signals must be maintained between the flow crew, winch operator, and supervisor. Situational awareness. Each person should always know the stage of operation, who is in the red zone, and what potential hazards exist. Fatigue management. Adequate rest periods and shift planning prevent errors caused by tiredness or reduced alertness. Personal accountability. Every crew member must follow the established procedures, stay outside restricted zones, and immediately report unsafe conditions. Human barriers are strengthened through training, practice, and strong safety culture. They are weakened by distraction, fatigue, or overconfidence, the invisible risks in every operation. Integration of all barriers. In Slickline work, no single barrier is enough. Physical barriers contain pressure, procedural barriers guide safe actions, supervisory barriers ensure compliance, and human barriers adapt to the unexpected. When combined, these layers form a robust safety system, each one ready to compensate if another fails. For example, if a procedural error occurs during rig-up, the supervisor's awareness and human vigilance can catch and correct it before it leads to an incident. Likewise, if human distraction causes a near miss, the physical barrier, such as the PCE or red zone barrier, prevents escalation. This interlocking system of barriers ensures that even in complex or high-pressure situations, safety remains intact. HSE considerations. Always confirm the presence and integrity of all safety barriers before starting the job. Any degraded or missing barrier, such as a damaged seal, defective gauge, or worn sling, must be reported and replaced immediately. Maintain clear documentation of barrier verifications, pressure tests, and safety inspections. Recognize that human attention is a barrier. Fatigue or distraction can disable the strongest equipment safeguards. Continuous improvement in barrier management is essential for process safety excellence. Golden rule. Never rely on a single barrier. Safety is built on layers of protection. This principle reminds everyone involved that true safety in Slickline operations comes from redundancy, vigilance, and discipline. Every barrier, from mechanical seals to human judgment, plays a vital role in keeping the well and the crew safe.